Okay, well, as I promised, I'm going to go ahead and continue to work on these economical robot chassis. And I'm going to do 3 of the DC motor variety. The first one being one of these economical kits, which are like, I don't know, $15 or $16. The second will be one that we kind of make from scratch using the wood from probably Hobby Lobby. And the third will be a hack-a-toy project, so we'll do them real quick. But at any rate, this is a kit you can get from me. You can get it from China. eBay is a great place. If you want it quick, buy it from my website because I buy them in groups and then I can ship them out fast. It's all acrylic. A lot of people don't know this when they see it on eBay. That ugly brown color actually does come off. I start by just peeling it off. And end up with a pretty nice and cool looking piece of clear plastic. Like so. I'll save the detailing for later here. Okay, there are 2 types of these. I call them version A and version B. The version A has a lot more mounting holes and brackets in it, which I kind of like. But I think what happened was so many of them were destroyed or damaged in shipping that I don't even know if you can get them anymore. I have a few left. Because I bought a bunch when they first came out. But now everybody's going with this particular design. It doesn't have any slots in it, and it appears to be able to ship from China without being broke much easier. And assembly-wise, the other thing which is kind of cool about, I should say, about version B versus, which we'll call this one version B versus version A. Version A used 2 pieces of plastic that clamped together. I have a version A, I'll grab it in a second. Version B, they decided to go with this piece of aluminum and milled it out and drilled it, and it fits in nicely, so it makes it maybe, I don't know if it's really any better or not. It's just different. Gives you the illusion of being better. But first thing we got to do is we got to attach these little blocks. Okay, some of these even come with a handy dandy 50-cent screwdriver, which is kind of cool, although it's not really the quality you'd want to leave for your grandchildren or anything, but it does do the job. Okay, so I've taken these 2 holes closest to this X and I've attached one of these aluminum brackets. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing to the other side real quick. Like so. Hope you appreciate the new lights. Somebody complained that said my images were too dark, so I went to Lowe's and bought some nice bright lights. Alright. We're not going to spend much time on this at all. Okay. And then the motors. And you'll notice these 2 holes here, they line up nicely with these 2 holes here. So you can set these long screws through. Oops, what am I doing? It goes on the outside, Brian, like that. Okay. And what I'm going to do is actually pause it. I'm going to put 2 of these long screws in on either side. Notice the motor's on the outside, okay, because the wheel has to fit here. And then I'll join you in a second again. Hold on a second. Okay, so I've now attached these 2 motors. I did do one thing that's worth paying attention to. I decided that I want to have the terminals facing toward the outer side of the body. Okay, in both cases. Oh, the magnet's making these things stick to it. Reason is that, and I'll probably show it in a future video here shortly, I'm going to probably put a decoupling capacitor on here, as well as soldering on the wires. And it'd be just so much easier to do if it was right here. Ideally, perhaps you would even want to do it before you assemble it, but putting it like this isn't so bad either. Next, it's, well, I mean, my gosh, you can probably guess. You can do whatever you want, but the wheels, they just push on like so. Get it lined up properly. Okay. And like this. I do like these encoders, and we'll probably play with those as this video series moves on. These also have a plastic. They're cut into black plastic, so you can leave it on or take it off. It doesn't matter. I prefer to take it off just because I think it looks cooler. If you peel off the protective plastic from the acrylic, then this piece here will slide onto this hub here. Although that was really loose. Most of these are fairly tight. We might need a dab of hot glue or something on that to hold that on eventually. But then what we can do is we can use these slots in here to count, so we can know exactly how far our motor has rotated, so we can mark its position. Moving forward though, the tail wheel. Now these tend to be, they use a sort of a O-ring instead of bearings. They're okay. They're not too bad. Some of them are a little stiff when you first get them. They tend to loosen up. You'll find that if the wheel doesn't fall down, that initially you'll be a little bit frustrated because it'll hold your robot turning to the left or to the right. But when I've played with them, they generally wear in. If not, it just takes a little bit of torquing and play, and you can probably get this to break free. But we're going to put that here using some of these screws and nuts, and I'm going to go ahead and pause it again so you don't have to watch me attach that, and I'll be back with you in a second. Okay, I've pretty much finished it. I'm not going to attach the battery pack on here because there's a real good chance that going forward I'm going to start off with a breadboard, okay, on top of it, and or a motherboard of some sort so I can run it. Keep in mind, as I said initially, the DC motors are a little more difficult to control. We have to have some additional motor driver, like for example this guy on here, or a smaller one that can handle supplying reversing polarity on the motors so we can go both forward and reverse. But they're very economical, 16 bucks or something like that. Okay, so that is the end of this video, and I'll see you again shortly. Bye.